Carlos Nelson with Cascade Sports. And tonight we have the newest coach of Northeast High School Vikings, Mr. Boo Richardson. How you doing, Boo?
Good. How you doing tonight?
Doing just fine.
Good,
Hey,
good.
Boo. Tell our audience a little bit about yourself. For uh, people that don't know you, quite a few of the people here in the local area, you know, you were a major star playing in high school and college, semi-pro. Um, Tell our audience a little bit about yourself. I like my coaches to go back to their childhood and talk about when they fell in love with the sport. Who were some of your mentors on the court and off the court? What schools you went to, and uh, how you arrive at Northeast.
Perfect, perfect. I give you my background. I grew up on the Kansas City side, the KCK side. Um, Probably fell in love with basketball probably 4 years old. As my family kind of, I was so young. I don't know the age, but my mom, my cousins, and everybody, my grandma used to always tell me, they gave me my first basketball, and that's all I used to do is shoot the little ball in the trash can. I used to play in the trash can, at home. And that's when, that's all I wanted to do was play with basketball instead of Legos or toys and cars. I just play with my socks and stuff. I used to ball my socks up and shoot them in a trash can. And I think probably my grandma told me I got my first goal probably about 7 years old, and that's when I just 24 hours a day felt like play basketball. My grandma, she loved KU basketball. I think back in the time we used to get the Chicago network in Kansas City where the Bulls game would come on a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So I used to watch a lot of Jordan, the Chicago Bulls stuff, and KU basketball growing up. But my basketball, my family is in my basketball. Uh, as far as basketball is in my family, my dad, my mom, my grandma, my cousins, my uncles, uh, they all play basketball to about varsity. Uh, Few of my cousins made it to college. Vincent Smith, a guy I'll touch
Who was
on
the
a little
biggest
later.
influence on you?
Man, my grandma, my
All
grandma,
right, all right. Mama
she,
doing it
yeah,
again.
my grandma, and I would like to say
And
my
what's her
cousin,
name?
uh, Irma, Irma Richardson.
Hey, Irma, baby boy shouting out at you.
Got to, and my cousin, he always made sure my grandma was at my games. My
What's his
cousin,
name?
Derry, his nickname is Buck.
Hey,
Uh,
Buck, baby boy, he giving it up for you.
oh yeah, they made me. Like I said, without them two, it definitely wouldn't be no Boo. And my godmama, Tracy. So with that being said, they the ones kind of motivated me in basketball. Like I said, my dad, he graduated from Sumner Academy when it was an all black school in KCK, and he was one of the top dogs in the city. Could have went pro, but at that time the era was different. From street life to regular life to the pros wasn't paying that much when my dad came out in the 70s, like 60s, 70s. So
Right.
um, with that, my dad talked about the Bell League. They used to be around here in Kansas, Missouri.
I
So like
used to
all the
sponsor
pros
teams, Charlie Parker and a guy named Crop and all of them. We always finished second.
in the
I
Bell
owned a
League.
candy store called the Candy House at 3027 Prospect. And when I came
Oh,
here from New York, Charlie Parker and them were running roughshod over the whole area. And we would go over the Rainbow. And
mm,
that's where a lot of the games. Tall
yep,
Paul was on my.
yep,
I was
yep.
like, I try to be like the Yankees and hire the best. I had Tall Paul,
Oh yeah,
Phil
you,
Morgan. I had a
you
bunch of.
had to have the best coming into the Bell League. My dad said, like guys was coming from Arkansas, Oklahoma, St. Louis, the KU campus, MU campus. My dad said, if you didn't have a good team and you ain't basically get the best of the best, you was gonna get ran out the gym. And all those guys you talked about are legends. So this
You
picture
see, I've been
about
around a minute.
that's a blessing. That's a blessing because I wasn't even born. And that's my dad used to tell me stories about the Bell League. His friends, his peers used to always be like, "Hey, you look just like your dad. You dribble
Mhm.
that ball just like your dad." So my dad, he laid a foundation for me, him and my mom. And it's just I had great people growing up around me, my family, my close friends. I started playing AAU basketball, like they call it AAU summer ball. Um, I really started getting competitive. I met a guy named Jerome Hooks. He had an organization called the Little Dogs back then. He's actually coaching still now to this day in Wyandotte County with, I think it's the 59ers. He have a youth organization called the 59ers. Great, great guy, father figure to me, mentor to me, coach. Man, he's great with that with the youth, man, and he's done a hell of a job over the last 20 plus years. And without him, a guy named Moses Wyatt, he had an organization called the Wolves. I played for both of them guys growing up on the Wyandotte County
What
side.
position when you was you playing most of your life?
I definitely played that little man spot, the point guard. But I was smart enough to play all five spots, so I could play all five spots offensively, and I could guard all five spots. So I did it all, being a small guy, and that's something that a lot of people that was around me, they molded in me, just being tough, learning how to play the point guard
Hey,
spot.
hey, hey, we got a saying over here at Cascade Sports. Tell me, was you like this? We say Cascade Sports go hard in the paint.
Oh yeah, I go hard in the concrete. I'm going hard. I'm going hard just because that was my life. It's still my life. It's not the biggest thing. How growing up. Basketball, sports. Saved a lot of our lives. And like I said, basketball. I had to go hard because of where I was from. It was a hard,
I
rough
love it.
neighborhood. It was rough. And basically, like I said, just growing up, that basketball, you had to be special, especially being in my sides. I'm right now. I'm 5'8", on a good day, and just growing up, I played varsity basketball. I started varsity as a freshman, probably was 4'11" when I got to high school,
Muggsy
and
Bogues.
yeah, definitely. And I got a little growth spurt and end up growing about like 5'3", 5'4", and like I said, just being a small guy, have to play
What,
hard,
what
but
what do you consider the best part of your game?
my IQ, my IQ, I could see 2, 3 plays ahead of the game, and I could play like I said, I could play all the five positions. I added so much stuff to my game over time, but I always been like the hardest working player on my team or in the gym. And when you left the
So you've been
gym,
a general on the floor most of your life, most of your ball
every
life.
every team I've been the captain or the leader. I've been the captain, the leader, the best player, the hardest working player from my little kid days all the way up to my professional days.
And what high
I just
school did you go to?
I went to Wyandotte High School,
Who was over
and
there running? Who was playing over there?
man, it's a lot of greats that didn't came through there, like especially the '80s. I used to get mad because they still got all these '70s and '80
I knew
pictures.
Lucius Allen and
Yeah,
yeah,
his
you
pictures and
see,
stuff is still
those are
it's
my
still in
people.
there. Yeah, they
Uh-huh.
the goats. They the goats. They paved the way for guys like myself, Victor Williams, and the younger guys, Nate Johnson. They paved the way for a lot of Wyandotte High School uh, athletes. And like I said, I used to make jokes all the time, like when they gonna get this old trophies and all these dudes, out of here and add some of us around. But the history is so rich with Lucius Allen and all them guys. So they laid a great foundation in the '70s, the '80s, and like I said, it's been great coaches to come through there. Springs, Coach Wayne Van Dyne, the list goes on with, like I said, good coaches. And like I said, my 4 years was great there. But
So
guys like
where'd you
Victor,
go after you left there?
I went to a junior college. I went to Coffeyville Community College for 2 years, where I was an All American, first team, all conference MVP, and a guy named Coach Herkerman, Jay Herkerman. He's still there. That's my guy. Him and BJ Hill, them two are two
Really
special
got your
coaches.
head right
Yeah,
and help you develop as a man.
they let me be me, and even my high school coaches, they made sure I handled my business, and I was always a guy that basically lived a double life. Like, I hung out with my friends and family and did all that stuff, but when it was time to, handle business, I took care of my business.
All right, tell
Off
me
the field.
what I want you to do now. I'm the cutoff king, by the way.
Are you
Cut
fine? It's your
cut a
show. This
brother
your
off in
show.
a minute.
This
Uh,
your show.
I want you to talk to a young baller that that's uh, coming out of high school going to a JUCO. Uh, a lot of them don't have the right understanding about education per se and sports. I know I graduated. I ran track. I thought if you was the
Oh
bomb
yeah.
athlete, you didn't have to go to class. You didn't have to this and
Oh
that.
yeah.
And uh, I watched the JUCO thing. A lot of kids not really ready to go to college. They might be ready to play the sport, but the other things they might not have. And a JUCO is the perfect place to get acclimated for that
So
next run. Talk
I mean,
to an athlete about that.
you're right. It's definitely a gut check. In a place where you could get a great opportunity if you go in there and handle your business. But a lot of kids just I wasn't educated with junior college until my junior year in high school. I wanted that big offer, that D1, all this, all that. And when I started getting junior college and all this, I'm like, man, what is this?
Yeah,
So
who they been looking at?
yeah, so the kids are still the same. But man, when I did my research on junior college basketball, it's so many NBA pros, like professional athletes, and just great people that came out of junior college that spent a year somewhere or 2 years to get their grades because they wasn't a qualifier. So for any young guy out there that's watching or interested in going to junior college, it's about the right fit at the programs, going to the right ones where they want to get you to the next level. And I think we all want to get to the highest level of sports, from football, baseball, basketball, track. You want to get Division 1, you want to go pro. And, it's a gold mine for a lot of them junior colleges if the right athlete get connected for 1 or 2 years and really go in there and grind it out in the classrooms and on the field, on the court. I represent that. I'm a JUCO guy. I represent a JUCO before anything. Like when people talk, I'm like, I'm a JUCO guy. That's how
You
depth
hurry
it
up.
is.
Let them know
Yeah,
what's up.
yep. So with any young kid out here, I definitely would tell them that if they don't have the grades and the opportunities to go to a university or go to something they want to go to out of high school, I would definitely go to JUCO route. And I know a lot of them guys are, battling the prep schools now, doing that 1 year, and that 1 year don't count on their eligibility. But a lot of them places don't have the history that the junior colleges have, where they could get you faster, stronger. They could get you looks, opportunities from different universities because of the 100 years of history that they have.
And the field is not as crowded.
Nah, it's now like I said, time changed. Like I said, these kids could jump higher, they could run faster. They got the social media, they got so much stuff we didn't have. But man, just me, I'm 35 now, and like I used to hear so many stories about the JUCO, the Jayhawk Conference, the East, the West, the New York basketball, the Florida basketball, Texas, and it's like, man, you see all them guys on the wall, their names, their picture, and as a basketball player, that's what I wanted. I wanted, and I have it today. My picture is still up at Coffeeville Community College. I have pictures, I have trophies, and it was just something that I seen, when I went on my visit. Just far as I seen all the other pros, I seen all the other All Americans, and I wanted to be one of those guys. And I also had a goal for myself, just going to Division 1. I
And where'd
wasn't a
you
qualifier.
go after you left there?
I went to Illinois State University. I happened to be one of the top point guards in the country in 2006. I was a first team All American. Um, you
Damn,
know,
boo, I ain't done no research on you, baby boy. I just know
nah,
that you can play. And any Negro named Boo, he better be able to play.
yes, sir. Yep. And like I said, it's been a blessing. Like I said,
And
man,
I want to ask you about that. Who named you Boo?
it's a childhood name, man.
Yeah.
I got bigger cousins, and my grandma raised me and my cousins in a 2 bedroom house. It was probably 11 or 12 of us, from like young teenagers to adults living there. And, my big cousin used to turn the lights off, and yell boo. And, and I used to kind of, go to my grandma, and just, that's just how it came about, me being scared of the dark, me,
Yeah.
running
And she probably be ready to whack him. Why you
yeah,
doing that to
whack them.
Boo?
I never got a whooping. I never got in trouble because I was a baby boy, and I hate to say it, but all my family members at that time knew I was the one to basically,
Hey, Boo, tell me this, because you got a love affair with Grandma. How did Grandma, as you start reaching certain levels of success, when you seen Mama, what kind of look was on her face about her baby?
you know that feel when you got your wife, your mom, that special woman. It's just that
Mm-hmm.
look. They give you that look like I'm proud of you.
Right.
So
That's what I'm talking about. That's
yeah,
what I'm
and my grandma, my G mama, she just gave me that look, man. Like, you made it. I'm proud of you. And it's so funny because I was just talking to one of my guys about a old high school game. He's like, I never forget, man, using the game and you was cussing, and your grandma said, you better watch your mouth. Out of all these people, I just heard my grandma's voice, and I'm like, it's hundreds of people in here, the band playing, and that's the only person I heard. So, my grandma is everything to me, and like I said, rest her soul. But man, like I said, she used to always be at my games, man. Starched up, have her clothes in the
It ain't
corner.
nothing like Grandma. I know when I
I know.
ran track and my grandmother lived with us, and one time I wanted to go somewhere, do something, and came home and didn't have the money. And she shook my hand and slipped me some money. And I thought it was like a $5 bill. It was a $50 bill. And,
Hmm. Don't tell nobody.
Grandma was there when nobody was going to be there.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. She
So
she
tell me
probably
this.
told you don't tell nobody I gave you this.
Right. Oh, damn. That must be the legit line that all the grandmothers use, because that's what she told me. Don't tell your mama.
Yes, sir. Don't tell nobody. Yep. Don't tell your mama. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So tell me this.
That's it.
Now you're over here at Northeast. What is your
Hmm.
plans, and how do you plan to go about this 221 season, upcoming season? And have you met any of your, oh no, have you met any of your players?
Hmm.
uh, Talk about, do you have assistant coaches, or give us a rundown where we're going from here.
Like I said, I've been coaching for about 12 years now. When I got done playing ball semi-pro and I played overseas, I got a chance to basically go back to Coffeyville Community College and be assistant. Uh, I went back to Illinois State and I was assistant there, like player development. And I came back to Kansas City and I started coaching freshman basketball at Sumner Academy with Coach Parr. That's the guy I've been with the last 7 years at Park Hill South. So I learned a lot from that guy and all my coaches. And for me, this is my first head job. I've been an assistant, being that right hand man for a long time, and definitely, I'm excited to start my head coaching career, and just want to bring the love to the game, the passion, the fun, just the total atmosphere of basketball, mixing that old school with the new school, because time's changing. You can't be so caught up in your old ways of trying to teach kids things. So for me, I'm going in here in the IL Northeast. It's different from Park Hill South. These kids, don't have a lot of opportunity. Uh, they have a lot of resources, but it's just different. You and anybody else watching this could, know the difference from the different
Well,
schools.
I'm always speaking on the difference, not just they come. Let me tell you how I started this company. I was
Mm.
homeless, and you know where homeless people spend their time? A lot of them spend their time in the library, because
Yep.
that's where you get heat and you get
Agree.
air, and and I would be there from 9 o'clock till they close.
Yes, sir.
So about 10 years ago, Metro Sports was the major
Hmm.
company doing sports. and they did a special on the Urban Core athletes. They picked 6 athletes out of the 6 public schools, and
Mm-hmm.
they compared them to the athletes that come out of the Bishop Mays and what have you. And they went into their homes,
Mm-hmm.
and how you said how you had all them cousins, you had like 5 or 6 families
Yeah.
living in one place. The kids barely had enough to eat.
Yeah.
Out of the 5 of the kids, 4 of their siblings had gotten murdered by the time they were
Yeah.
seniors. Uh,
So with that, like that's why I'm so passionate about this job. I've been through all what these kids been through. You know, I went to
right,
Wyandotte High School. My brother was murdered. I got over 20 family members and friends that all got killed by a gun, and that's tough on any individual.
right. But
And living.
that's what the documentary was supposed to. But it took. I didn't like what I seen in my community, and they
Ah,
just pulled us, and they got awards for that, but nothing changed. And then what they had done, there was a girl player. I don't forgot what her name was. Uh, I think it was Bishop Mays or one of them yanked her out of Central. She started living with the family over in Kansas because they debuted this at the library. That's the whole point. They debuted the
uh-huh.
story at the library, and then they had the kids, and uh, we became kind of close. And she said that when she got over there, them kids was driving. Some of them was driving Range Rovers
Oh
to
yeah,
school, and the whole atmosphere. That school needed one player to win the championship, and
yeah.
that
And she came from the
right.
the,
And her
the, the
brother
lower
got murdered, but she was saying her brother kept asking her, "Come home, come home, come,"
hmm
and she didn't. They won the championship, but that is going on in our
right now.
community across the board in every city uh, in the United States to a degree.
And
And
it's been going on like that for a while. I was getting recruited in the 8th grade to basically go to those big schools. I had a mind of my own, and I had a vision of my own, and I wanted to stay in the hood at Wyandotte High School. You know, the inner city. You know, you call it the inner city, you call it the hood, the ghetto. I wanted to take pride in that, because of the guys before me, and I didn't want to move with, a rich family to go to this school to be able to get better grades or do whatever it
well,
may be.
you
And the kids is
you're
saying
the new
no.
generation though. As I told you, why Cascade Sports wants to work with you because you're more in the same mindset as a LeBron James and these athletes that say, "Hey, I don't know what you're talking about. This is where my community is, and you can't tell me not to have my
Mm-hmm.
high school friend manage me and give me a manager. No, I'm running this. Uh, I'm the product." And I think
Yeah.
the more our coaches and our community wake up, we are the product. And
Yep. And it's a great time. It's a great time because, like you said, this is my first year at Northeast. I applied for a few other jobs. I didn't get it this year, and I know why. And I'm ready to prove a lot of people wrong. But at the end of the day, like I was so excited to take this job because those kids is, I went through that. I didn't have my first bed or bedroom until I got to college. You know, I
yeah,
didn't
you'd be
I didn't
strange. Well, I got my own. Yeah,
Yeah, so I kept my dorm room clean. I kept my room and everything clean for like 4 years. People used to call me a neat freak. It was just a simple fact I never had that. I grew up with rats and roaches, multiple people in there, barely knowing what I'm gonna eat. So my passion and my love for this right now, it's been deep for it, and that's why I've been in it. But just being able to build my own program and be able to paint a picture of these kids that's similar to theirs. Man, I'm ready to, like I said, I could care less if I win a state title or a conference championship. Man, I want to encourage that kid that was like me that don't have his own bedroom, that got to duck down, at night when they hear a gunshot or don't know where his next meal coming from. I want him to be able to learn life lessons through basketball and get that opportunity to learn how to become a boy to a man, and provide for himself, take care of his mom, his family, his brother, sister, and just have an opportunity of life, And a lot of the people in the suburbs or better schooling, they have ACT, preps. They have so many different things on the wall, the bulletin board. And we don't even have nothing on our bulletin board in our
Bulletin
halls.
board, you don't have no
In
bulletin board.
2021, no, we don't. But the crazy thing about it, no, we don't. And that's why I said it's for me. I want to go in there and paint that picture. I think a lot of the educators in the IL and these inner cities, they do a great job. The pay is just okay. For a lot of these people to be here and speak volumes about them. It's just a system behind the people that we need to crack. But for the most part, my job is to go in here and connect with about 20, 25 boys in our program and be able to give them the opportunity that they don't see right now. If we could, create this vision and show these kids hard work, dedication, education, things of that nature. I mean, I think we could, from the AD, from the principals, from the teachers, the admin, the custodians, myself, we can help these kids get somewhere because of all the people I named. Those people, I still have a great relationship with them people when I was going to school. My principal used to come get me from school, make sure I went to class because I was on skip, if I was hanging around with the wrong people. So for me, this Northeast job, like I'm ready to go in there and rock and roll, just because like I've been through these kids' shoes, I've been in their shoes before, and just want to give them that hope, that vision where they could do it. And I didn't make it to the NBA. I don't have $1 million, nothing like that, but I
You
traveled
got
the world.
something more valuable than that,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah, yeah. No doubt. And
Way
that's why.
more valuable than
Yep.
that.
And that's what I want to paint the picture for these kids because I've been around the world, and I grew up where, like you said, I didn't know about McDonald's until we got paid, until that check came. I didn't get to, have the fast food, it was them big old onion burgers or Roman noodles or, some leftovers. So
Mhm.
the struggle was real. So like I said, I know what these kids going through in the IL and the
And
Northeast
not
high
just
school.
that, the facilities, all of that. But we'll talk. We'll talk about that
Yeah.
in
So
some
so
other
for
show.
me, for me, like I said, I'm just going in, like I said, just trying to get these kids everything I got from, you know, off the court and just on the court, just all my knowledge. And I'm trying to learn each and every day how to become a better coach since I'm a leader now. So it's a lot of things that I'm challenging myself to do better at. But on the court and all that stuff, the X and O's, like I said, getting these kids to play hard and chasing a dream, that's gonna be easy. It's just like I said, just conquering the other part of it. Letting them know that I'm here for them on and off the floor, and this because basketball is everything, but it's not everything. But we gonna play hard. We're
We're
gonna
gonna
we're gonna
take it
set a great example.
take it to the max.
Yeah,
But
yep.
yeah,
And
uh,
great
uh,
example.
and as I told you, the creators watching over you, bro, and it's it's a time for everything, and I think uh, it's a time for you and to put all of that experience, and you seen it was no big jump. I'm gonna be a coach. You paid your dues. You was a player.
Yes, sir.
Then you got up under some good coaches, and now it's your turn. So we're looking forward to covering you
Yep.
and working with you and bringing you on board Cascade as soon as possible, and wishing you the
Yes,
best
sir.
of luck. Do you have any closing thoughts for uh, your specific fans, and what would you say to the alumni of Northeast? Uh,
I,
what they should be looking for play from your team in the upcoming season?
the Northeast alumni, just want them to support the kids. These kids is giving they all. They trying to do something that we already done, and support go a long way. So, alumni, fans, the community, just by them being involved, we can help change so many of these kids' lives. So we're gonna play hard. We're gonna represent, Northeast. We're gonna represent our families. We're gonna represent these young men. We're gonna be class act, win, lose, or draw. We're gonna walk with our head up, and we're gonna come here and work hard every day. But just the whole atmosphere, like I said, we're gonna change the culture with a lot of help, with our community, with our alumni, and like I said, with our family and friends. So just everybody watching, I encourage everybody to do more, do more, do more. Love each other. Like I said, learn more. But dealing with the sports and the school and stuff, man, it's fun to learn. It's cool to learn. In the classroom, and on the basketball floor. Get better. Set goals. Don't finish last. And what I mean by finish last is just thinking you just need to get a 2.0. That's selling yourself short. You're selling yourself last. Try to get a 4.0. You know, think about basketball going to the NBA, but make sure you're studying to be a doctor as well. Carry both of them things at one time instead of having a plan A and a plan B. So just do more. Thank you for having me tonight. I'm excited for the future with me and you and just the whole company. And just like I said, everything you've been doing for the city. You're not a Kansas guy, but you are a Kansas guy. So thank you for your hard work and
I'm a
dedication.
sports guy. I'm a
Facts.
people guy, and for sure,
Cascade.
I'm my community. Uh,
Yes, sir.
yeah, and that's what's up.
Yep. So this Cascade thing has been great. I had an interview before with you before, you and your staff and class act. Like I said, thank you. I appreciate it and love everything you represent from our community, all the sports, all the different spins you have from your show. So I'm excited to start to dig more into this. And I can't say that now. I gotta wait till the deal get done.
Right.
But I think Cascade Sports might be coming with a coach's corner. So be on
Ow!
the lookout.
Don't hit
Yeah.
him with that so hard, Hal.
Be
Hit
on
him,
the
baby.
lookout.
Hit him.
Be on the lookout. So
All right.
thank you.
As I always say in closing, when you invest in your community, you're really just investing in yourself. Good night.
This program is brought to you by the City of Fountains Coaches Association.